for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And click the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm La Hefka.
I'm Smiley Jizzle. What's good?
Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? How was your weekend? We made it to another Sunday.
My weekend was okay. Yesterday, me and my friends went to a costume party for my boy. He just had his 40th birthday party, so we celebrated with him. It was
Happy birthday.
Yeah, he's the chief of the fire department. So it's pretty awesome. But yeah, he had a good time. A lot of laughs, a lot of funny pictures. Yeah. And then after that, because we was already lit, decided to hit up a few clubs. So we did some bar hopping. Oh, and I also I put some flowers on my grandmother's grave this weekend, her passing. So, her birthday was last week. So.
The 14th Libra game. What happened to Is it the one over here?
Right here.
No, I wrote them too. Then
no, that's the same one. I didn't really remember.
I thought you wrote one first.
I have no rule, maybe. What you do?
Peace and love your grandma. We miss you. I didn't do nothing. I watched horror movies because Hulu. I love Halloween. Halloween is my favorite. That's what they have on Hulu. They play all the different horror movies or shows.
Yeah, Hulu. I kind of gotta sift through all the different ones because Netflix has a list of good movies, and then you got Prime that has a list of good movies.
And they have the same movie, but then some of them have originals or they're that be on one.
Right, and it's like a pain. Like if you got a streaming app that has everything, just use that instead of getting one.
But the thing is, they don't just have that no more. They try to make you, now they're making everything as an add-on. Every channel, if you want to watch a TV show, is if you have the streaming site, the ones that you got to pay a subscription for. You got to add on. If you want to watch this, add on. They told me on Netflix that I need to take the app to upgrade my plan to ad-free to watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one. Because I had the one with the commercials, and they was like, girl. Gotta upgrade your plan if you want to watch this. And I'm like, really? So I gotta take the commercials away just so I can watch a show. Like, what the heck? Like, that is crazy. Y'all bugging. Now you gotta pay more money if you want somebody to use your account. You can add a member. Like, what in the world? Yo, I swear, this is just like that episode of Black Mirror when the lady was gonna die, so they gave her a chip, the Neuralink, so she could still live. And she couldn't go a certain distance away from her house because then she lost connection. She started glitching. She would pass out, and then she kept getting ads. So they was like, you gotta upgrade your subscription so she don't get ads, because she would just be having a conversation or teaching her class. She was a teacher, and in the middle of her lecture, she would be like, if you're having erectile dysfunction, just call 1-800-945 Get Hard or something. I don't know. Like, she would just say a commercial, but she didn't even know that she was doing it. And it was like, anytime somebody would bring up a certain thing, like when they were having sex, the erectile dysfunction happened, like because her husband was having a hard time or something, and then she just said a commercial. He was like, that was so weird. She was like, what? She didn't even know. He didn't even want to do it no more because she hurt his feelings. Because she did an ED commercial in the middle of him trying, let's get it on. But that's real life. I mean, that was, they gonna come up with some shit like that, watch. That would be kind of girl.
Hey everybody, thanks for pulling up.
Wouldn't that be girl? It's kind of creepy though at the same time. Like, if a family member gets sick and they said, there's nothing we could do. But, to keep them. But if you pay $40 a month, $400 a month, then we can give them a girl and keep their conscience alive and make them, you know, they'll still be in their body and stuff. But then all this other shit start happening after. They start getting ads and passing out when they go out of network and shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was like, I don't know. He was calling. He was like, people "What? Are you okay?"
People will do anything to spend more time with their loved ones.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of creepy. I think I wish you could live. I wish that you could like stop at a certain age and like a vampire. Whenever they turn, whatever age it is, they stay that age. That's how I want to be. But I want to go to 50. Like, whether stop now or go back to 25 and then stop there and just be that age forever. That would be great.
Well, I want that.
Because aging is like, and when you get over a certain age, it's like, then you start, I mean, you can still be healthy, but only to a certain degree.
I like to age, but I still like to have my body physically the same.
That's what I'm saying. To a certain degree, you're going to begin to deteriorate.
Like a Highlander. The Highlander. There can only be one. They're like immortal. They can never die.
Guys, we're just joshing. But that's something to think about. What is technology coming out? You don't know what they got cooking or what's already there.
AI.
The first thing is gonna come. People have money first, but then as new things come out, then they're gonna lower the price to make it affordable for the common folk. Common folk. They really used to say that. Refer to people. That's so messed up.
So, substantial evidence that efforts to restrict or dilute the voting power for Black Americans are ongoing, and many civil rights organizations describe this as a fight over the Black vote. That's the header. I kind of want to talk about what that means for some people. So we have the bipartisan people, we have the right, and we have the left. And we have the people that are no party. Those individuals that probably are voters, whatever race they are, will be affected by this move, because everybody doesn't feel like Black people shouldn't have rights. So like taking away a vote of that particular demographic, of any other demographic of the people in the country, is back to racism, and it's not, and it goes beyond outright systemic. This amps it up a little bit. So that is a civil unrest in itself. That right being taken away from us, whether you care to use that right or not, just the ability to not be able to do the same thing that everybody else is able to do is kind of fucked up. So let's talk about that. Sure.
Black voting rights is about to be stripped away by the United States Supreme Court. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. While everybody is talking about Charlie Cristo 2.0 and his death in the middle of freedom and votes in Venezuela and Epstein files, Project 2025 is well underway of stripping the vote from Americans who happen to have black skin. How are they doing this? Well, there is a case out of Louisiana that is being heard by the Supreme Court today, and the Supreme Court has already indicated where they are leaning. A group of white people who said that having the Civil Rights Act of the 19 white black vote.
But so they don't need to play the whole thing. But so they're presenting it to the Supreme Court, and that was 5 days ago, I think, that was posted. So that day, they were presenting this to the Supreme Court, this idea that black people should not be allowed to vote. There is a law that prohibits them doing that, but they're presenting it to the Supreme Court so that they can, if they agree, this is how laws get changed. So it's a possibility if there are people, that are in agreement of this, that it could happen. So, for some, that may be a scary thought, but I think we don't really have control the way that we think we do anything anyway. I think a lot of the things that they tell us, like voting and stuff, when it comes to, like, for the country, like, or whatever, on a federal level, I don't think we really have a voice. I think they make it seem like we do, and they teach us all these things. But like maybe statewide, the local representatives, you can get the sidewalk fixed, and if there's bumps on the road and stuff like that or whatever. But when it comes to the president of the United States and things like that, we already don't have control. So people in general, common folk, like what I just said, like regardless of what color you are, but they're giving us even less because they're taking away our alleged right, or trying to take away our alleged right to vote. But to be honest, I haven't voted since Obama. So because I don't, it's not just because I don't care. I feel like they don't really, like, we already have the electoral college, and then certain states are going to be what they're going to be regardless because of the state that you live in. So you can vote whatever you want, but if you're in a state that's right or whatever, their vote is already determined. So by that right there, that tells you that in certain cases we don't have a voice. So how it's hard to believe that in the ones that don't fall into the category that we have a voice. So since I started learning more about politics, about what is deemed to really be going on, or my beliefs, or people could say it's conspiracy theory or whatever, but we really don't know because we're not there. We're not a part of this, so we don't know what's going on. But I think the president is born into that. We don't have no control over who becomes the president. That's in their lineage, and it's already predestined. And whatever the laws and rules and stuff are, those are already made by someone else. The president is just the face, and that's the scapegoat if things don't go the way that they plan when they change certain laws and make things a certain way. But I don't think they really have a voice. And they sign in the papers. I think that's a formality. Votes are just a formality to make us feel like we have, and to make the president appear like, oh, he signed off on this document or whatever. It was going to happen regardless because he didn't come up with this. And half of the time, the changes that they make don't even go into effect until the next term or whatever. Not maybe some things might change, but I think that was from the last term that came about. It really, I think there's a bunch of things that they're not really being honest about.
So you said a lot.
I know.
So when she brought this information to me, obviously I did my research. So my research led me to the fact that this is not the first time that this has happened or this has been attempted. But the state of the government at this point makes this a challenging thing, a challenging reality, right? So like, and again, understanding politics or knowing politics is very deep. It's a lot of loopholes. It's built around basically law type of stuff. So like all of that stuff about all the certain statutes and all this stuff, the fine print, as you will, right? There's a lot of stuff that you have to look deeper in to understand, but it does come off conspiracy theories, right? Like when you say like there's this big brother and there's all, you know what I mean, all these different things, it does seem like, yeah, there is some guy in the shadows or some wizard behind the curtain that's pulling all the strings. Hold on, let me cook. The main thing to understand is some of the things that we've some of the information that we've received from earlier scholars like Neely Fuller, James Arthur Baldwin, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Those guys are not like, it's not like some prophet or something like that. They're not like false prophets. They're not that type of thing. They're people that made us look at ourselves differently because we are intellectual. So not allowing the intellectual of us to be able to do that, there is a fight with that freedom, because that is a part of our freedom. We don't want the challenges of not being able to do certain things, because then it goes back to black bathrooms, white bathrooms, black water fountains, white water fountains. This is just one milestone on the beginning of something else. If Project 40, whatever, 25, if that's real, then yeah, we are in trouble.
There's an actual document.
I have the document, but that's why I said if it's real, because I have the document, but I don't know if I don't know what's real.
Oh, you're
because
saying
I don't.
This was really
right, I have the document in my files. Yes, and it's very lengthy. It's a lot of stuff in here, and a lot of people said, "Oh, this is a hoax. This is not." I'll show it to you after.
What else are they gonna say? They're not
gonna
admit it.
Well, but you got to think about it. There's whistleblowers.
Most people not reading that.
There's whistleblowers though. Like you're like, okay, like just like you believe something else. There's a Mulder, a Fox Mulder out there from the X-Files that's actually trying to seek the truth and broadcasting it and putting it on blast so that people know about this and bringing those documents forward so you can see the litigation of how all of this stuff is transpiring. There's people that's whistleblowing about the aliens. People still don't believe it. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Well, yeah, now people in the government that don't want to know, because there's people in the government that don't get told certain things. You have to have certain clearances to get certain information. So
because they treat them like common folk.
Right. You know what I mean? Some information has to be handled by certain particular people. So you can't just give out all this information. Then it is privileged information, because to avoid mass hysteria, a lot of people go crazy. Like just a few days ago, it was Revelation. You know what I mean? Now you got all this crazy stuff about, the Mormons and all this other crazy stuff that people are talking about. You hearing about all of this stuff and everybody just going on a whim and like, yo, this is true. They got AI videos of the chupacabra chasing chickens. People don't see the watermark removals on the screen, and they're like, oh my God, this is real, and they're ready to argue you to death and go to hands about whether it's true or not. So for me, that's the real guy. But
yeah, but look at what he said and what's happening now.
Well, listen to this.
They thought he was crazy.
I mean, listen to this. We're gonna evolve as people because we just are. We've been doing it. It just seems seems crazy.
People always call people crazy first, and then a lot of times they get proven correct.
Because the argument is people fear what they don't understand. A lot of people can't see.
Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly. A lot of people can't see what a lot of people are looking at because they don't want to believe it. And a lot of people have been taught from years with their parents and stuff like that to believe certain things anyway. So now that you're going out there and you're tapping in and you're trying to figure things out for yourself, you got to be careful because you can be misled. A lot of people just go to one source, boom, that's it. I use several citations, mainly ChatGPT because it's a combination of different sources.
Well, you gotta fact check, yeah. You gotta,
but I have to definitely check into things to make sure that the information that I'm receiving is accurate, not good or bad, but accurate, because I want to know that the information that I'm getting is something I can share with other people, especially if I have children. You know what I mean? Or people that I mentor. I'm mentoring people. I can't be giving them information that I just, oh, this sounds like a great idea. Now, if I do say something, I'll use the term alleged. Or that's because it's information that I got from another source, but I can't say with my full heart that I believe that this is this. You understand what I'm saying? Now, one thing about what you said politically, your theory, it is possible that people have, you're only selected for this position of power through some type of genetic, type of shit, like lineage or whatever, roots.
Everything that
you know
I say
what I mean?
is possible. I'm not gonna say something.
Let me cook. I'm almost done.
That could never happen.
But the idea of it is that it doesn't give people a chance to try. So some people will take the information and just be like, all right, that's true. Some people will take the information and search and try to find other relatable sources. And some people will just be like, that's bullshit. I don't even hear it. But at least you have to entertain the possibility that some things can be true, some things can be untrue, but both can be true. So
Yeah,
sometimes you have to identify that.
Yeah, I used to vote, and then so that's the difference. I changed my
because of your belief.
vote. Yeah,
right.
So it wasn't just it was a reason why. I mean, it was one. So I've seen it both sides.
My challenge would be why did I choose? My challenge would be why did I choose to vote, right? As opposed to you choosing not to vote.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
Right.
This is just something that you do. Like your parents tell you to, or the people in your family tell you to vote. I didn't never really care about it. I never got into politics or I'm still not really into it, but I'm more knowledgeable of it. I mean, I learned about the executive and the legislative branch, and I forgot what the other branch, and the 3 branches of government. Yeah, and I learned about the politics and stuff in school, or at least the basics of it. And we had to memorize the preamble to the Constitution with punctuation and everything, and write it for a test. When I was like in the 5th grade, like write it word for word with punctuation.
Who's smarter than a 5th grader?
And I passed it, but I mean that's anybody can remember. I don't remember that shit now, what it actually said, but I remembered it then, so I could write that shit.
Do you see? But do you see all that what you said? This is what they taught you. You understand?
And that's why I said when I got older, that's why I don't vote now, because my current belief, and I could be wrong, but I believe it's possible. So because of the possibility, until I have concrete proof.
You have very strong beliefs.
Yeah, until I have concrete proof to the contrary, I'm going to continue not to vote because I don't feel like it makes a difference. And okay, maybe if there were people that were running that I believed in, and I felt like they would be a good candidate, and I believed in their policies and the things that they were saying, but to me, they're usually both or all of the people that are running are not
the best type of people, right?
Yeah, it's like pick your poison.
Examples.
So I don't want to pick nothing. Like, and some people might be like, oh, and then a lot of people vote.
Evils most of the time.
It's like people will be like, some people just be voting. They voted for Kamala because she was black or because she was a woman. That's stupid to me. I mean, people do that. I don't want to say it's stupid or whatever, but I've done that before. I voted for Obama because he was black, because I was told to do that. That's the last person that I voted for. But then now I realize it's about if I'm going to really invest myself into this and take it seriously, and I believe that my vote counts, I'm going to make an informed decision. Right. I want to know what you stand for, what you're saying that you're going to change for us, and my values have to align with that in order for me to pick you. If not, if none of the candidates running
how do you feel about some of the things that Kamala supported? Like, women being able to delete their babies, certain rights as a woman, certain rights that a woman currently has, those rights being protected under her law, as opposed to the pro-life approach where it's like nobody can delete their child. They have to have that. How do you feel about that?
Okay, here is my belief. I think some people should not have kids, so you shouldn't even be getting pregnant. But I think some people know that they're unfit parents, so they stop it before. And I think that when they do that, that's a blessing because you're saving the world from the havoc. The riffraff, the additional riffraff is going to be added, or you're going to ruin their life because you're unfit. They're gonna end up in the system. It happens so much or whatever. So I don't think so. Because of that, I think it's your body. A woman should be able to do what they want with it. But I don't think you should be getting pregnant just to go unalive it. Because if you know you don't want no kids, you need to use protection or get on birth control or something. Like, that's crazy. Women be going there. That's not birth control, and I don't understand how women could go through that multiple times and not feel that. Like, something wrong with you. Like, I don't know. I think, yes, they should have the option to do it. It's because it's your body. I don't think we should put restrictions like that on people because they're not hurting someone else. The baby isn't here yet. And to avoid them having the baby and giving birth in the bathroom at school and flushing them down the toilet or something, or getting in the system, getting abused in the system, or keeping them and abusing them, that's a way around it. But I think the ultimate solution would be to, if you don't want to have kids, or if you know in your heart, some people are not aware, but if you're aware that you would be unfit as a parent, then don't have children. If you don't want kids, don't have children, because you might mistreat them just because you don't want to, just because you didn't want it, but you did it because you felt like you had no choice. Like, certain things like that, your body, I don't think that there should be, because it's your body. Now, I think that women are dumb. I think that women are dumb. Like, if you're with a man that you're not even with, y'all just sleeping together, or if he told you he don't want no kids and you decided to go, then you're dumb. And you should just accept whatever consequences. But you gotta realize those consequences don't just fall on you. It falls on the kid too, because now the possibility their father is not gonna be around because you wanted to be selfish. If you don't want to be in a relationship, or he don't want you, you shouldn't be having kids. You shouldn't be doing nothing to get yourself pregnant or in that position in the first place. Because that's what be happening. A lot of times these people don't even be committed to each other, and then y'all bringing babies into this world, and then y'all hate each other, or y'all be cussing each other out. The nigga ain't around. So they should be
allowed to avoid that happening.
Yeah.
Like what if the condom breaks?
Yeah. I said that. I said, you don't have to use that terminology, my body, my choice, but your body, just like a man. If it was a man that could get pregnant or whatever, it's not.
It's my body, my choice.
I'm not, because it is your body. You're in control of your body. But what I'm saying is, if a man tells you he doesn't want a kid, then you're dumb if you go and have a kid when he told you he didn't want that. You shouldn't allow him to get you pregnant.
But it's
ultimately, I'm saying that is dumb to do, because you're going to be the one suffering. At the end of the day, you're going to be the one that's going to be stuck with a child. So it's not fair. You could say it's not fair or whatever, because you're the one that makes the decision after conception. But if you should, it's more on you, the responsibility. So you should be more the woman.
You think the woman is more guilty than the man is?
Yeah. No, she ends up suffering more. It's not about guilt. It's like, if you make that decision, you're the one that's stuck with it. He could go on and live his life and do whatever. You're the one that has to deal with the backlash. And I don't think that's fair. But knowing that it is what it is, you should make better decisions, and you shouldn't put yourself in that position. If a nigga tell you that he don't want you, if the condom broke and y'all not even committed, why are you like, that shouldn't be something you're thinking about. And sometimes they're not going to tell you that. But if they told you that, then I don't think it's smart. If you do it, you become a statistic. Now you're another single mother. Now your kids got daddy issues and whatever.
Our small demographic leads in single moms out of other demographics.
That's what I'm saying. It's stupid ultimately. But I don't think you can't control. People are gonna if they do change the law, that's the only way it's gonna happen. But I just don't think. I think it just sucks what happens. Like when if you get pregnant, then you know it's
So
ultimately is on the woman.
Right.
So knowing that, you should protect yourself better. If you know
Should
that
have
nigga
better
don't want
discernment.
you, yeah. It ain't even because it could be discernment, but it could also be that nigga told you. It's not judgment is no longer there. Now it's the choice you made,
like
knowing
you said
that
before,
you're thinking about the feeling.
Discernment, but you can still be stubborn.
Yeah, you're thinking about the feeling, or you think whatever for whatever reason why, or maybe it's your religion. Some people are religious and whatever, like. But I think women should be able, because some people shouldn't have kids, and I don't think you should be having kids if you're not in a relationship either, because that creates another host of issues too. It can. Most people don't know how to co-parent if they're not in a relationship or whatever. So I think that's what people. At least you need a commitment. In marriage, okay, whatever. Some marriages don't last, but at least a commitment. At least y'all are together. Y'all living under one roof. If you wanna,
we're in Connecticut.
If you wanna have
sorry, you guys. We just cooking, so we're not really paying attention to what
Nick,
you guys are saying.
And Renee, yes, we are programmed. That's what I'm saying. But people be thinking I'd be crazy when I be saying that. God bless you too, Nick. Where are you, low key? But yeah, I'm not a feminist because I know where you're going. But like, you think I just think a lot of things are unfair.
That don't necessarily make you a feminist. That's one viewpoint. But essentially, you guys hold the autonomy to deciding whether or not you're going to have that child or not.
Yeah.
So it's not. It is your body, your choice. You know, at the end of the day, it's your body, your choice to have contraception. It's your body, your choice to choose to have the child or not have the child, because it's development in your body. So even if they make you have the kid, you could still do crazy stuff that could lead up to you not having that kid. You know what I mean? So essentially, it becomes your responsibility ultimately to have to go through that walk. Now, it's beautiful to have a guy in your corner to support you through that period, and not have to go through that alone. You shouldn't have to go through that alone. That's ridiculous for women to choose to go through that alone. You know what I mean? And you're choosing to go through that alone because you're choosing the wrong guy, and you're allowing this guy to, you know, put his babies in you and not take care of them. You know what I mean? So like, it's ultimately, it is your body, your choice. But you're making a bad decision. So you're making a bad choice.
And I think people don't even care about that anymore. I think if we got, which is sad, we got into a point where it's just like, just have a baby. Like, it don't even matter. Like, I just want a baby. I don't care. Not me. I'm saying, I hear people say, like, I just want a baby. They don't care about having a family. They don't care. They want a kid. They be like, yeah, I want to have a kid. What about the rest? Like, that's not a standalone thing that comes with a man, because you needed a man to have. Well, I guess it's 2025. You don't physically. You can have a baby now without a man. So, with physically having sex with you. So, and now they figured out a way for you to conceive without the baby being inside of you. So, I don't know what the hell was going on now. I feel like it's stupid though, because you still should have a physical man around. Okay, maybe it's not, people have step parents or whatever, but there need to be two parents in the household.
Now, what do you think? What do you think about? Let me give you this scenario. So, what do you think about people that are not able to conceive their couple, a man and a woman, a biological couple, and they're want to conceive, but maybe the guy can't, maybe the woman can't, and they get a surrogate to allow them to have a child together.
Yeah,
they want to raise that child as a family. They want the child to have a father and a mom and know who they are, and the father plays his role in the household, mom plays hers, and it works out. How do you feel about that scenario with somebody bringing a child into the world without the natural way of doing it?
Shout out to this girl at my job. She said she did that twice, I think. She was a surrogate. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. She seems like somebody, like she seems nurturing and everything. But I think that would be like the only reason. If you're unable to conceive, like something like that, then that would be a good reason. Like, but to get IVF, I don't agree with this. You know, in China, you can have a baby outside of your body. Like they put it in a pod or something, and it comes to term or whatever. Like that's kind of crazy because I feel like what is like I don't know. Like, but if it's like IVF and you have the egg and they implant it inside of an actual human, and they do it like that because they can't have kids.
Right, Nick. Yeah, he's telling you.
I know, I seen it. That's why I'm trying to wait it, but the fan blown it. But yeah, I think in that situation only if you can't have kids, but it should be IVF.
That's a good question. Nick.
How do you feel about the National Guard?
Now I'm a former veteran, right? And I feel like soldiers can be a good and a bad thing, because soldiers don't really, American soldiers, we love our people, we really do. So most of us, right, and we'll do anything for people, for civilians. So having them around is not really that bad of a thing, but it can feel like, you know, like they always watching you, like, you know what I mean? But they're there to protect you. Like, there's a situation allegedly of a serial deleter that's in the East Coast or whatever, right? And I said to one of my friends, I said, you know what if the soldier was right out there outside your house, and you don't have to worry about this serial deleter attacking you? You know, you can feel a little bit more safe. Like, yeah, but I just don't like them just sitting there watching. You know, I don't have any privacy. Like, I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that deep, but I think it can feel like it's very, like they're like big brother watching. Yeah, invasive, right? Or intrusive.
Yeah.
All up in your business, like, you know what I mean? But
we're
really not. Like,
in the serial killer thorough, and they see them out there and they killed them. They unalived them, so they can't even save them because the serial killer got the drop on them. Serial unalived them.
That's a great movie, but
it could happen.
It could happen.
Cause some people don't be paying attention, even if that's their job. They might be on their phone, they eating a donut. Right. Like, they're still people. You know, people be slacking on their job sometimes. But
I don't feel like it's an overall negative thing to have the military protecting you guys in the area. But I don't feel like it needs to. Well, they don't have enough police officers wanting to do their job, so we don't have the protection that we need. But a lot of what's going on is like some of these soldiers are being used to detain people. So that's another fear. But,
yeah, I wouldn't like them.
Yeah, it is a double-edged sword. Yeah, it's like it's good and bad.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. But they didn't say our state though. Anyway.
Nah, but I mean, you never know.
But I'll say it so far.
But that's like martial law. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you know that they're there, what are they there and they're doing? Are they fully loaded?
It's like too micromanaging. I feel like I can't. You gotta
appreciate you, Nick. Thank you.
And I feel like you gotta be, you know, on your best. You should be on your best behavior, but you're human. Like I said about a lazy cop.
Like, what if somebody's having an argument with their wife or something, and the soldier sees that he's arguing with his wife, and he shoves his wife or something, and the soldier comes up there and like, hey, sir, I'm gonna ask you to step away from the lady, and you know what I mean, just they're not supposed to do that, but some soldiers feel like, you know, they're this tough guy, so they go over there and they try to do it, and then they do grab the guy and put him in some type of lock and throw him up against the wall. That's crazy.
Put his arm on top of
That's crazy, and that's what I'm saying. Like, some soldiers feel like, you know what, I'm here to protect, but you're not supposed to intervene in local things. As long as it's not like a threat to American you know, whatever. But some of them be doing too much.
Definitely.
They was hall monitors when they was in high school, and now they a sergeant for his class. It was
Top
a Boy
flight
Scout,
security.
top flight security. But for real.
Or like Jamie Foxx,
Because
employee of the
these
month.
security guards got M4s.
Remember the Jamie Foxx show? He was like, employee of
Full
the
metal
month.
jackets.
Like, he was so happy. That was nepotism. They was cheating. That was their nephew.
But yeah, I don't, honestly, I really don't think it would be in our best interest to lose our voting power. We're already losing so much. And then that means with the crab in the barrel mentality, and you know what I mean, it's going to be tough for us to get to where we would want to be in life as a people. Like, I see so many successful groups, you know what I mean? Italians, Arab nationals, all different groups. They have storefronts, they have their family businesses, they pass it down, they got their teenage son working with them, and you know what I mean? Like, it just looks good to see that people are able to fulfill that American dream. It's like, we want that. Some of us do. You know what I mean?
It looks like there's a person. Oh, that's your hand. It looked like there was a person. You put it down.
Woman leaves her child with an Uber driver while she goes to the club. What do you think about that?
This is what I'm talking about. What I just said about why some women, some people, well, I'm gonna say people, but in this case a woman, are not fit to be parents. How you just gonna leave your baby with a Uber driver? You don't even know this woman. Harpo, who this woman? You don't even know her. That's crazy. And you lucky she didn't do something to him or like report you. I mean, she went online. She about to call people about to call DCF.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's bad parenting. You could have
that's terrible parenting. You leave your kid with an Uber driver? Like, that's wow. Like, dude.
And then she got on social media and put you on blast. She kept the baby overnight because the girl went to the club too. That's where she went. And I guess she couldn't get in touch with the baby father. That's what I'm talking about. He probably told her not to have that baby because he didn't want her. That wasn't even her man, probably. They were just smashing. And she wanted to be a mother. But she don't even want to be a mother because she's leaving.
Pepe's Pizza, look it up. Google Pepe's Pizza. PEP apostrophe S.
PEPE.
That's what I said, right? I forgot the other name on that. PEPE apostrophe S. Pizza.
But yeah, she said she left her overnight. I mean, she kept the baby overnight because she tried to contact her, and she made the video to tell people, like, if y'all know her, let her know, come get her baby, because she wouldn't answer the phone, so I didn't know what to do, so I just kept the baby. Like, that's crazy. What if she unalived your kid, or sold them, or something? People be doing stuff like that. You don't know this lady. Well, how can you just leave? Like, people just be making me mad. This is what I'm talking about. Unfit.
Yeah,
that's somebody that
you
should not be a mother, because what is wrong with you? And you lucky that woman was a normal woman.
Right,
she
that's
didn't have
crazy,
ill intention.
yo. And it was a little baby. How old was that
in
baby?
a car seat.
Like a few months.
Yeah.
Wow. She wasn't a family member. She was a complete stranger.
Unless it was ghetto Uber, but they didn't say, when they just do Uber, they just got the app. But they be telling people, I do Uber, just text me or whatever, but we don't know that. So for all we know, they're a stranger.
I mean, their name come up. And they plate. And they car. So you got something to go with.
You still don't know them. That you know information about them, about their car registration. You don't know the person.
Sometimes people, they're not supposed to do this, but sometimes they be having other people using their account.
Or it's coming in a different
come
on the car.
Pick you up, it's not them.
I'm like, I went to the grocery store.
Be like, hey, you're not Elvin.
I walked there, but when I was coming back, I took an Uber because I had too many bags to carry. It was too heavy to walk with. So I looked at the license plate, it was a person. But the car that I pulled up, at first I wasn't about to get by. They were sitting there blinking their light. I'm like, this is not the car that it say on the app. But then I looked at the license plate and it was the right license plate. He was like, it said it was. He was like, I know. He was like, I don't know why it be doing that, but it was around the corner.
Yo, shout out to the African Doom Dashers and Uber Eats deliverers that be having them bikes, bro. Because they be moving fast. I'll be looking at the thing and I'll be seeing the line moving and they be moving so quick on it. I'll be like, yo, they in a car, yo. It's no way they on a bike. And they be there like 2.2, yo. And be having one stop along the way.
So
I'm like,
people be having a scooter or a
beast
moped.
on them bikes.
What's your team and people lie? What do you mean what's the team? Like sports team, Nick? And you're saying people lie? Yeah, people do lie.
People ain't shit sometimes. But I don't really I don't count people out. I let them count themselves out. You know what I mean? I give people enough rope to hang themselves. You know what I mean? Some people don't give no rope at all. Sometimes I don't want to give them no rope. But I be listening to people. I observe people. And I feel like it's my professional responsibility to be able to identify with a person before they even open their mouth. I have to be able to do that. So I always pay very close attention to certain behaviors, certain things people, like even jokes. Like some people may say some awkward ass jokes, but they're joking. Like they don't mean any harm. Their intention behind it is harmless. But in certain settings, those jokes wouldn't go well with other people. And sometimes it is awkward. And be like, man, did that offend you? Like, I mean, what you think? You know, like sometimes, but. You know.
Yeah, I don't trust people, like, to a certain extent, like, but like when like, if somebody gets accused of something, they be like, he didn't do that, and I'd be like, if you wasn't there, no matter who it is, you can't say that they didn't do that. You would hope to think that if you know the person, that's a family member, a friend, or something like that, you want to believe that they didn't do it, depending on what the crime is or what the thing is that they're being accused of, but you don't know. That's the reality. Some people will do things for money, and you probably didn't think that they never was offered a certain amount of money or never lived that life, and they got offered a certain amount, they would do anything. And they may say they won't do it, and you may not have known them to be a person, but they never had an opportunity before. So people change in certain situations. And sometimes you could be right and they wouldn't do it, but you never really know. Like it be serial unalivers that have whole families and kids, and they never did nothing to their wife and their kids, but they be out here unaliving strangers.
Yeah.
So and they didn't even know that they were doing
right?
it. Yeah.
Didn't BTK have a whole family?
Yeah. Ted Bundy got married after he was locked up.
The smiley face deleter.
The Craigslist unaliver. He was engaged, and he was in med school doing his residency and going out of town to unalive people in between. He was at the top of his class. So it's like you can't say like, oh, this person didn't do you. It's hard to tell now. It be some people you think is crazy. They look crazy if you look at them, and they not. But then some people look normal if you just go off of certain people. Some crazy people, sociopaths, they're good at pretending. They learn how to mimic the feelings that they don't really feel. The most thing that they really feel is anger. All that other stuff is pretend, because they learned how to adapt and act like a normal person. So it's like you can't. It's hard to say. So So I said that to say I don't trust people regardless. I'm not gonna just be like, oh, I would hope that and I would support you, but if it's looking like if something happened and it's looking like you did, I'm gonna be like, yo, don't lie. Did you do that shit? I might in the beginning believe it, but I'm not gonna just deny the shit if I start seeing signs and it's like, nigga, nah, you did this shit. Like, stop lying. Tell me the truth so I can know how to move. I ain't gonna tell on you but I might have to go and get away from you. And don't say nothing about me. Bring me up in that shit.
Right.
Beef with blacks is on the road. Who's that? My main beef with blacks is on the road. They drive that. Oh, your beef with black people is on the road. They don't use turn signals too fast. Yeah, they do that. And people be running the light. Every time the light change, somebody running the light. It'd be more than one person.
I think it's just urban driving.
You said they don't really have jobs. Are you black too? I don't think that. Now that well, first of all the stuff you said is not just for black people, because I'm pretty sure there's other races that don't use turn signals.
It's an urban driving
don't
thing.
Have
There's
jobs.
a lot of asshole drivers.
You can't put that across the whole race.
In particular areas, in the East Coast, we're more aggressive drivers, and then in the South, they're more moderate drivers. Well, on the highways most of the time, right?
And you said, why don't black people tip? Are you black? I just want to know. I want you to answer that. I don't think all black people don't tip. Again, maybe from your experience with black people, that's what you've seen. But you shouldn't use that as a blanket statement to describe the entire race of people. You're Irish. Okay, so whatever. But yeah. Nick, you said go Mariners. What team is that?
Well, it's a baseball team.
You like baseball?
I'm not a big baseball fan, but I guess I would say Yankees. I like their hats.
Yeah, that's closer to it.
But for football, I'm a Cowboys fan. I know a lot of people probably may hate that, but it is what it is.
You say you live in Washington and they can't drive at all. They who? Nick. Oh, you like the Seahawks? I think my friend likes the Seahawks because that's the team that Sierra's husband is on, isn't it? I don't watch sports. That is the team that he's on. But I think she got like a hat or something, a glove, something with that. She said she liked the Seahawks. I forgot what's his name. Fly, let's go. J-Rock, you like the, what they call them? The Seahawks too? What is that guy's name? What's his name? Sierra husband.
Oh,
that's his team.
So,
hey
Erika,
Dallas, thanks for helping us today in the standings.
Whatever, man. All right, I'm done looking at the chat for now.
Philadelphia Eagles sweetheart.
Erika Mcgriff, racism or actions justified? If you don't know about Erika Mcgriff,
so picture this: a woman is going to pick up her child from school. She parks, and you're not supposed to just leave your car there and leave. So she parks her car, goes in to get her kid, and she's walking to her car. And then a cop says, "Where's your car?" or something. He comes up to her, like, basically, because you're not supposed to just park, just leave your car there and get out or whatever. He's like, "Why'd you get out your car? Where you going?" And then she was like, I'm picking up my daughter. And then he asked her for her license. And she said, what's happening? I didn't do anything. Instead of just giving him her license. And then, so she just is not listening. They get into a little scuffle. She sets up like she's about to fight him. Like he's not a man and she's a woman. And she swung at him. She punched him. He hit her back and jacked her up, put her on the ground. And she got arrested. But I think the whole thing could have been avoided. I don't think all he did was necessary either. But like, if she would have just gave him her license to begin with, none of that would have happened. But she wasn't even supposed to be driving. Plot twist. Her license was suspended. She already had multiple DUI incidents prior to this. So that's why she didn't want to give him her license, because she knew she wasn't even supposed to be driving. But then now she got Crump representing her, right. And he talk about fight the power, like, and it's like sometimes they be bringing this stuff on themselves. The problem is I don't like that we use these marginalized groups of black people and try to use them as a representation for the entire race, because it shouldn't be that. Everybody's different. We're not a monolith.
But sometimes these cops be going crazy, like, and that was a Spanish officer, by the way, and he flipped her down on the ground, right? You know, she got a dress on. Then he, like, you know, he has her like kind of folded up, and she got up after, and she was like, "Oh, you're gonna hit me?" So now she squares up after. So he already like flipped her on the ground. But I'm like, yo, he is an officer, just comply. But all that rough stuff that happened in the beginning, it shouldn't even have been like that. She should have just been like, you know, but she probably was anxious because who's gonna bring her daughter home, and you know, all these things. You put me in the back of this car, like what I'm gonna do with my kid? Yeah, she put herself in that situation.
Because you should have took an Uber. You're not supposed to be driving. You got your kid to worry about too. Again, another example of, you know, must I keep reiterating, bad parenting. When you're in a effed up situation and you have a kid, then you're putting your kid in an effed up situation. So if you can control it, don't put yourself in an effed up situation if you got kids. If it's just you, then whatever, ruin your own life. But don't have children and do things to F up theirs. Like, it's just selfish. Gilbert's no good tonight. That's what Big T said. Oh, you guys are watching the game? Listen, America, J-Rock said, listen, and America is not about race, really. It's about ghetto versus suburban, and that's including all races, 100% fact. Exactly. But people still, you know, try to point out specific, like they'll use 3 or 4 incidents and say, oh, this is all black people, or oh, this is all white people, or whatever. Like, and it's like, you're right. It's about, some people just don't know how to act, regardless of what their skin color is, or what their ethnicity is. Some people weren't raised right. Sometimes it's the environment. They have that influence. Their upbringing wasn't proper. Single parent households. They didn't have no structure, no discipline. And that can happen in any culture. Boricua, is that? I don't know. I'm white and Puerto Rican. Well, salute to you. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Philly. What do you think about? Do you think? Well, you said that was excessive, right? He could have chilled.
He did too much.
Yeah.
But like, I mean.
But she was setting up though. She was like.
You know what I said? It could have probably been like a taser. You could have just tased her instead of going through all of that.
That would have been worse.
It would have been worse, but.
Tase?
Yeah. Could have been worse.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Some of these officers, they be excessive. Punching her in the face is excessive.
Yeah. And then she she thought she was in a boxing ring. Like, she put her hands up. Like,
she hit that nigga too. So she gonna get
She punched him in the face.
She gonna get assaulted an officer. If he don't get excessive force, she's gonna get assaulting an officer.
I mean, they could both get it, so. 'Cause I don't think she should. I don't know. Take a Uber next time, girl. If you ain't still locked up, I don't know if you got out on bond, but take a Uber or have somebody else. If you got somebody that you can trust to go pick up your daughter, because you could have avoided that whole situation. You're not supposed to be driving. Go get your license situation straightened out before you get back on the road, please. Or go do it by yourself when your kid ain't involved. But if you the only person that your kid depend on, then realize that and do better. But,
Okay. Agree 110%. DCF declines to comment on 12-year-old whose remains were found in New Britain, Connecticut. What is that? That's the story that you said.
New Britain and Cynthia Vann beaten.
Oh, that's amazing. It was a 12-year-old who they found in New Britain, and I guess the parents was like, I don't know if she was adopted. What was the story behind it?
Please hold, please. Read the comments. I'm trying to find it. So we're not just.
People more facts.
Huh?
I think it's subjective. Who's the worst drivers? Because there's these racial stereotypes that they've always said that, and I don't even want to say it because I know YouTube will get me, but people of Eastern continent might be the worst drivers. So I don't believe it because there's some good drivers that are Asian, but a lot of them, say that that's one of the worst drivers on the road.
Who's the worst driver?
Asian.
Chinese driver, such a disaster. If you drove backwards, maybe you get there faster. You're so good at math, you always use your thinker. But for the last mile and a half, you ain't turned off your blinker. That's what they said, Wild and Out. Shout out to the kid. That was like on the earlier episode when it first started coming out. But y'all dead wrong. Stop talking about, there's groups of each culture or each ethnicity that needs to do better. So it ain't just one and everything. We got unalivers, white people got unalivers, Asian people got unalivers, Spanish people got unalivers. We got rapists that are black, white, Asian, whatever. Or I'm sure there's something. We got, like you said, ratchet, all that in every culture. So don't just put that on. I don't know what you said. You said 12-year DCF declines to comment on 12-year-old whose remains were found in New Britain, Connecticut. This is just sad. I don't know what happened. A 12-year-old's remains was found in New Britain, and that's in Connecticut. We live in Connecticut. So that's sad to hear. I feel like every time I turn around, somebody else is gone. Like they said, we had a serial unaliver in Connecticut. They also was finding bodies. They found like 6 bodies in 1 week in the bayou down south. I forgot what state it was in, and they're saying that it's not a serial unaliver down south. But how y'all know it's not? If you find 6 bodies in 1 week, I believe it was 6. I apologize if that's incorrect, but that's how many they found in 1 week. They found more than that in the whole month of September. Like it was like every other day they was finding bodies in the bayou. So I don't know how long them people been in there. Did they just unalive them? Were they in there for years or months? And most of these people were missing that they found. So they didn't just do it that day. I know that, but I don't know the time frame of how long they were in the bayou before they were discovered. But at any rate, whether it's a kid, an adult, it's always sadder if it's a child that something happened because they didn't even get to enjoy their life. They didn't. 12 years old, like your life is just beginning. Like you may not have even gone through puberty yet. You may be going through it, but it's like it's just, or you haven't experienced, you haven't gotten married, you haven't experienced having a family, if that's something that you ever wanted to do because you were too young to do that. So somebody take your life before it even started. It's just sad. It makes me sad. It is dangerous to text while driving in J-Rock, but people still be doing it. There be people playing games. You said texting. People be playing games while they driving. I'd be like, listen, don't do that when I'm in the car with you, okay? Like, do that on your own time. If you want to put yourself in danger, I would advise you not to do it, but I don't want to be in the car. If you want to do what you do, because you're grown, but it won't include me in it. I want to live as long as I'm supposed to. Right, people that be on their phone, yep. Don't boss me. Who do guys think are the worst drivers? Oh, King Amir, I'm sorry to hear that. He said, I locked up right. I guess he's saying I'm locked up right now, but I don't give a F. I'm glad I'm away from my wife. She annoying. AF. I'm sorry to hear that, King Amir. Like, that's tough to be in a marriage that you're not happy. My prayers go out to you. Maybe you guys should go to counseling or something. Or have you talked to her about her annoying behavior? Is she even the woman that would listen to it if you told her she was being annoying? Or is she going to curse you out if you say that to her? Because that matters too, how you going to handle it. J-Rod said, I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Please don't include the San Antonio, Texas in it. It's not a bad part of the Mexican west side of town. It's not from a serial unaliver. But Houston and Austin is different. Oh, that's where it happened at, in Texas? See, I didn't remember the state. That they found people in the bayou. You heard about that? Y'all not scared if you live near there? Oh, you do live near there. How do you feel? Do you got a firearm? We gotta protect ourselves nowadays. We don't know. We living in the twilight zone right now. It's crazy stuff just happening. Every other day, something. Dang, that's crazy. Well, you be careful out there. You gotta get the blicky, because I don't think it's not right if you can get it legally, and you gotta protect yourself, because people out here, like what that guy said, hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah, that guy.
Cause for real, this is sad. Like I don't know. Like this is in New Britain. That's like 45 minutes, an hour from us. Where that girl, he said that place is 5 minutes from him, where they found the people in the bayou. So prayers go out to the people, to the families. My condolences. I hope you get some answers. I hope you find out who's doing this and they catch them. Because this is like, I don't know. When art imitates life. Like, you watch it. I love horror movies, right? But then when stuff be happening in real life, it'd be crazy. Maybe they should stop. Yeah, right? It's Halloween. But then it's like, it be conflicting me. Because it's like, I be feeling guilty about watching my shows. Because put your hand over it. I be feeling guilty about watching my shows because of all this crazy stuff happening. We live in. That's what I'm saying. Do I believe in it? It's not about if I believe in it. There was multiple people found unalived in different parts of New England. So I don't know if it's a serial killer, but somebody unalived them. So, and I don't know. It's possible because something happened to them. They didn't die of natural causes. So, it's definitely possible, but I think they're not really going to tell us until it's like, unless it get real out of hand or something, because they even the thing in Texas, they're not claiming, the cops are not acknowledging that as a serial killer. They're like, no, it's not. And I think they were doing the same thing in New England. They was kind of downplaying it, like, you don't think, because I think they don't want to create a frenzy or to make people nervous.
That's so scary.
We need to do like what they did on Halloween, like the whole town, but make it out, because he unalived the whole town. He did. They couldn't kill him, but that's what we need to do. We need to get a mob and go find these people and burn them in the building like they did the French people. JK.
What if it's somebody that's not the person that you got to get in the state?
No, we not going. I said JK. I'm not. I don't got heart for that.
I just watched that too. No, I ain't watched that one. I watched the one when they locked him in the basement before he took out all the fire department.
I watched
that one.
You know, Demir said she didn't watch it. I'm like, girl, she don't like horror movies, but she never seen Halloween. She never seen Freddy Krueger.
She gotta watch one. She gotta watch one of those.
She never seen no black movies either, like Boys in the Hood or what is the other one? The one we just talked about with Pookie. What we were talking about earlier. New Jack
Government
City.
involvement. I believe that. What he just wrote. J-Rock.
They probably, J-Rock, he say he believe in body snatchers, aka government involvement. It probably is.
Abduct people.
Some people say it's a conspiracy, and that's what I'm talking about. Just like what I said about the voting. People always call people crazy, and then when it just start happening, they be like, "Oh."
Do you remember the movie with Mel Gibson, Conspiracy Theory? I think that was the name of it. Oh, you have. You like thrillers. It's not from the 80s. You need to watch that. But check this out. He's like this crazy dude. He wears an aluminum helmet, on his head. And,
so the whole...
Yeah, because he doesn't want to get brain waves from whatever, right? And he has a paper that he makes, and the government seen some of the stuff that he wrote in the paper, and then they were like, "Oh, we gotta get him." So then it's people in black suits looking for him. You know what I mean? They came to his house. It was intense, man.
It's like that Will Smith movie.
Like that, kind of like that. Yeah, that movie was good, wasn't it?
No, that wasn't.
That was You're talking about
No, but that ain't it. They had like a device, and they were trying to. It was like a government device, and he had got it, and they were trying to track him down and get it back.
I watch that movie like all the time.
Guys, what's the name of that movie with Will Smith? And he had like a device from the government, and they were like, and it was something bad, something that I forgot exactly what it was specifically for, but they were like chasing after him, trying to.
I don't know.
Yeah, Google. But yeah, that was a good movie. I'll check it out. What is it called? Conspiracy Theory.
Conspiracy Theory was Mel Gibson.
No, I know, but you're telling me to watch that.
Yeah, conspiracy.
It's there. But people don't look it up today.
Enemy of the State. Yes. With Gene Hackman.
The first time
and what's her name? What's her name from the Cosby Show? What's her name? Denise from the Cosby.
And Regina King.
She was in it. Yep. That's my girl. Lenny Kravitz's girl.
Well, Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
The first time I seen that, I was in a hair salon. It had already been out. They were playing it on TV, but I had never watched it. But they had it on the TV when I was getting my hair done. And I was like, I don't know. I think I was in high school, but it had, like I said, it had already been out, but I just never watched it. I'm like, oh, this is good.
Mm-hmm. It's like conspiracy theory.
I like movies that make you think. Like, I remember the first time, like, I went down my rabbit hole and started going on YouTube and, like, looking at the conspiracy theories about the end of the world, the government, and the Illuminati and all this stuff. And it's like, I was just searching up everything. And then then at some point I had to let it go because I was getting too, like, hung up on it. And I was thinking every single thing, that would be the first thought that comes to my mind every time something happened. Like, oh, this person died. They did it because they was talking too much or they let it go with the program, which it still could be true, but I don't know for sure. So, like you said, you should have proof before you go out saying stuff like that.
I mean, just don't let it consume you. Like, you know,
that's
like,
why I had to let it go because I
you could do to prevent certain things yourself, like packing your house with canned goods and even conceiving having a trap getaway door or a getaway plan set up or something, you know what I mean? Just having something. And people will think that it's something wrong with you because you have these provisions, but when things happen, you don't have it. You don't have your firearm because you believe that guns hurt people and people shouldn't have them and whatever. People hurt people, you know what I mean? And firearms is a way to protect yourself from people that's trying to hurt you. You know what I mean? And you shouldn't have to, in a beautiful world,
but we can't, there's always going to be something that's going to happen. Never going to be zero exempt of crime in the whole world.
But in a beautiful world, you can walk and frolic and do whatever you want to do in the daytime and don't have to worry about nothing. But guess what? Sometimes things happen. Sometimes you got to have that extra caliber. You know? Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You got to protect your family. At the end of the day.
It is what it is.
Now, this story troubles me. Cynthia Vann, rest in peace, being beaten fatally by a hospital roommate in Lincoln Hospital in the Bronx. How do you feel about that? She's supposed to be in the safest place in the planet.
Right, you in the hospital because you're sick and then you never make it out. Her daughter was on the news or somebody interviewed her and she said something along the line. She's in the hospital, like, how you let this happen? That woman, is she capable of doing something like that? She should have been in a room by herself because whoever her roommate, well, I'm assuming whoever her roommate was, they should have been in a room by themselves if they were violent. Maybe they didn't know, but I don't understand why you wouldn't know. When they come to the hospital, you should do an evaluation, especially if they're in there for a certain reason. And I don't know why the roommate was in there, but if they came in there for like an overdose or something, like, I don't know, suspicious condition or something, or it looked like something was, it would give you an indication that they were being violent, then they should have had an evaluation. And so they could be put in the proper wing or isolated so they won't be able to harm themselves or anybody else. But again, I'm sick of saying this, like, 'cause I had to say it so much, but prayers go out to that woman and her family, and I hope you get justice. I don't know the entire circumstance, but yeah, that's difficult.
I was watching a documentary on Halloween, the history of Halloween. The holiday. And it started off as there was a period in time where kids were just doing like mischievous things on this particular day. And so they wanted the kids to stop doing this and whatever. And the way that they started, they stopped them from doing it was they would give the kids treats. You know, they would go like popcorn balls or candy apples and things like that. And they would call this day, it was mischief night. And then later on, it started to, it died down for a little bit, and then later on, it came back. And there was a trick-or-treating thing. So around this period of time, they start to go to houses with their kids, and the parents even dressed up, and now they dress up. But this one guy, he decided to make Halloween into a marketable idea. So he started making costumes and stuff like that. And the costume was like out of really bad material, and then they got a little bit more durable. You know, you had a plastic mask with a little string on the back. You know, a little plastic suit that looks like one of their favorite heroes or princess from Disney or something like that. But they've gotten better with it now to like, you can make a mask that makes you look like a completely different person, and you'll look like a real person.
Down to the neck. Like you can just put it on your face and
they got body
tuck it
suits.
in your shirt.
They got bodysuits that make you look buffed. Right? A guy could put it on and it makes him look like a wrestler. It's crazy. You got to get the tone to match up with your skin tone, but it's a little lip at the top, so you can tell that it's not your skin, like it's something covering you. But it's like some type of rubber where it's like shakes and moves. So it's just so weird, yo.
It's latex.
It might be, I don't know. It's silicone. I don't know, some type of durable, like wiggly material, but it's covered where it looks like it's your real body, but it's like a bodysuit.
It was an episode.
I think Desi Banks was the comedian that was doing. He's a nut.
Yeah, it was an episode on American Horror Story. It was Halloween, and one of the ladies had a daughter, and she has Down syndrome. So she was like, for Halloween, she was like, I want to be a pretty girl or whatever for Halloween. And then so her mom got her a mask with like something like, it wasn't, this was older, so it wasn't a good mask. It looked kind of creepy because it was somebody's face and it had a neck, but you could tell it was a mask, so it looked crazy. Like, but she was like, you said you want to be a pretty girl, right? I got you a mask. Now let me see if I can find you something to put on. Or whatever. But like now the masks that they got, them jokes look real. They got celebrity masks with the whole face down to the neck. Donald Trump, actors and actresses, like, or just random people, like, I don't know. That junk is weird. Why would you want another person's face and put down, you're gonna be walking around looking like somebody else?
Because you want to wear it to a party.
For Halloween. I'm talking about people ain't just doing this. This is why certain stuff is dangerous. Like, because people is weird. Somebody going to do that and be killing people. There was this person that had a mask on or whatever that, I don't know, they try to do something, set it off or something. People, you just helping criminals with some of this stuff. But like, this guy, he didn't want to get taken by ICE. And he dressed up like a little girl. He put pigtails. And he looked, you could clearly tell that this was not no little girl. He had, his hair wasn't even long enough to put pigtails, but he put like 2 little pigtails, and he was a man, though. So they still, you know, because he wasn't fooling nobody. Like, I don't know. But, I mean, I don't know how I feel about ICE. You know, I get it, they're breaking the law, they're not supposed to be here, but I think that's kind of excessive, too, the way they're going about it. And they make it so difficult and expensive for people to get citizenship if you're from another country without just working. Like, a working visa, that's different than, like, if you, there's a lot of people come here and work and they be sending money back home. So, and then still taking care of themselves. So they don't even be having, you know, and it take a while. It take years for them. They kids be grown by the time for some people might get it done quicker, but it's unfortunate because everybody that come over here is not a terrorist. So I wish there was a way that, I don't know, that they could just change that to make it not so difficult for the people that are trying to do right when they come up here and they just want a better life. Because the conditions in other countries, we got bad things going up here. We got violence and things like that. But like in other countries, they got it certain ones. They got it 10 times worse. So they deserve the opportunity to start over.
Did you see the new Strangers?
No, I didn't watch it. I'm gonna wait because it just came out today. I don't want to see no.
It then came out.
I thought it came out on the 19th.
It was on platform, so it's an HD version of it. I watched. I seen that it came in, and then I was like, oh, I'm about to watch this, and then I watched some other things.
There's a new movie out with Lakeith Stanfield and Mark Wahlberg.
I haven't watched it yet. I've seen it in there.
Mark Wahlberg was in this wild ass movie that I watched a few months ago, and it was on Amazon. And he like took over a plane. He had a hairpiece on, and he was like fighting with the lady. Was like,
yeah, I seen that. That was
and
good.
she ripped it. Well, no, he didn't have no hairpiece. He had a hat on, so you couldn't tell that he had a bald spot on top of his head. And she knocked his hat over. It came off while they was tussling, and he just had like a Homer Simpson. I'm like, well, damn, they must have put something. His hair ain't look like that. But that joke was funny because you wasn't expecting it. Like you just like, yo. But that movie was straight. He was a terrorist. They were up there in the plane. Y'all crazy. They was really in the plane, and that was y'all not about to play with my life. I'm not making no movie and no real. You better do a computer and a CGI. Like, I'm not doing that unless you a real pilot.
This is awesome effects. Tom Cruise is crazy. And Tom Cruise be really hanging off the planes in Mission Impossible.
Yeah, some people be doing their own stuff.
He's crazy. Crazy guy. That Ethan Hunt.
Somebody says what is Steven Seagal? They said he be doing his own stuff sometimes. Or he don't be following the rules. Like he really put
Steven
that
Seagal
guy.
is like a little rough.
He put that guy. Do you remember in Exit Wounds when they was in the club and he pushed and he knocked that guy through the glass? They said he really did that, but they wasn't supposed. He wasn't supposed to do all that.
He said it would look better.
I don't know. He just did it in the scene. I think Michael Jai White said that, or somebody else told him. Like he was doing a lot because I don't think he did it all. He said he didn't like him because he would be doing real moves and stuff on people, but he said he never tried that with me or whatever. But he was like, it's like we acting. Why you really fighting for real? Like what is wrong with you?
It's an ongoing little thing between them two. I'd like to see them go at it. I think that'd be entertaining to everybody.
I think Mike can get him.
You think so? He might. He might be like Black Panther. I think he would be a good replacement. What do you think? Black Panther.
He getting older now.
But he's still like Black Panther.
Ain't he dead now?
Nah, Black Panther's son.
I didn't watch the second. I don't like when the movies start off and it's like the man is Black Panther and now he dead and now is a woman is the black, like I don't.
Nah, because the story is connected to. You see how his sister was in the first movie.
Yeah, but it's Black Panther.
She was always leading to be a heroic figure.
But she could be her own self.
She is, and that was the story arc of her character, her evolving her way, and not having to follow the traditional, shit. So she was, in the comic book, she was actually a Panther for like one issue or some shit. But I don't know if this would be permanent for her. I think they're gonna have a guy coming back to play Black Panther. I think it might be his son, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong.
So don't you think it should be a younger person? Michael Jai White is older than him.
But like how long it's probably taken to progress that story arc, he'll probably be an older character.
Okay, maybe.
But they might have him young because
he ain't been
the movies, they've been having all these different side movies and everything.
Is that
so? It's been a minute.
Spawn was just a comic book. It wasn't Marvel or DC.
Spawn was DC.
Oh, it was. Has he interacted with like Superman? Or
They've had a Batman versus Spawn type of thing.
J Rock is saying, do you remember the death of Kanika Jenkins, rest in peace, and how they was coming up with so many theories like a hotel dodge, but it was her demonic friend, right? We talked about this up here like last year or something because I had found out new alleged information that people were saying, and then there was some extra footage that they didn't show originally, and I don't know it. And then there was this guy. He was doing a he went to go interview them. He was like a content creator, and he went to go interview them. Her and her not her, because she was unalive. Her friends or whatever, like her best friend and these other friends. The guy went to interview them, and then after he interviewed them, the guy ended up being unalived, and 2 of the boys I think that he interviewed was unalived. I don't think the girlfriend was, but that's a little peculiar because he was also getting phone calls telling him to stop digging around because he said he got phone calls telling him that from different people or whatever. So and then he was unalived. So I don't know. This is and then the video is weird. Like you see. Because they said it was someone that worked in the hotel that did it. A witness came forward. There's a witness statement that was released. I don't know if it actually was released or not, because it's not saying that. But there's also people saying that the family was paid off, and that's why they're not speaking about it anymore, or whatever. But there's a witness statement, allegedly, that's out there. You can go on read. I don't know if it's true or not, but he tells the story about what happened that night. He was down in the freezer smoking with the person that worked there. He would come and smoke with him on his break at night. The guy worked in the hotel with security, and his friend would come and smoke with him in the freezer. It was big enough to walk into or whatever. So she came down there drunk, Kanika. She come wobbling down the hallway. You see the video of that, and she knows the dude that worked there, the security guard. She like, "What up, Poncho?" That's his name, Poncho. I think that's what they said his name. So they have a brief conversation or whatever, and then she's like out of it, like, and he like brings her into the freezer. He said it was 3 of them there. It was the guy that worked there, his friend, and somebody else that worked at the hotel, I believe. And they brought her in the freezer and they all raped her, and then he hit her and she hit her head or something. So she was still alive. They put her in the freezer after she hit her head and she was on the ground. And they just left her in the freezer. And then when they found her, she had been in the freezer. But the freezer had a handle on it. But because she was drunk, you could get out. You could get out from the inside, but because she was drunk, she probably didn't even get up. I don't know if she got up and she was banging on the door or whatever. But they found her in the freezer. You know, that's what happened. But they said that's the backstory behind it. But I don't know. And there is another video where it looked like they're pushing a body, like there's like a stretcher or something, and it has like blanket, like it's covered up with sheets on it, and it looks like not a stretcher, but it's because that wasn't a hospital, it was a hotel. It was like a cart that you could put stuff on, and it got wheels on it, and it looked like there was a body underneath the sheet on the now, because of AI and everything, we don't know what's real and what's fake. It could be. It looked like the videos that already came out that was proven to be fact. So, but also people know how to use the computer and stuff. Somebody could have edited it, made it seem like that. Because there's nothing to back this additional information up online. The case is just closed that she was just drunk and she locked herself in the freezer. They're not saying that anybody's guilty of it. The official documents are not saying that. So, but it's a shame. Rest in peace, and we're probably not gonna ever know what happened, unfortunately. Another person that had their whole life ahead of them.
It's good.
That's why I be feeling like I don't even want no kids, because I can't protect you 24/7. I'm going to protect you when I'm here, and I'm not going to be here forever. And I might go before it's my time.
Well, that's why children are a blessing, because there's something that you can leave behind that represents your legacy. They could go their own path, but it still will bring, pride to your name, if you want to live on. Like some people just, whatever, I'm done.
I just feel like I'm going to crash out this night. It's going to happen to my kid. It's going to be crazy, and I know who was the culprit. And I don't, is it their liability? And I don't think I'm evolved enough. So, I mean, hopefully nothing will happen, but you don't know. You can't protect them all the time. Up until a certain age, I guess. My kids going to be homeschooled, and they're not going to be sleeping nowhere until they're a certain age. Because, unless I'm there too. I'm going to go check on my kids when they sleep. Like, come in there and check on them, make sure they're good. And, I'm probably going to be a helicopter parent. Nah, I ain't going to be too like that, because I want them to be able to come to me, like, I'm going to be watching them if they don't know. I'm going to be watching them. Because it's a crazy world. Like, I don't know. And I don't like feeling helpless, and that's, to a certain extent, you are helpless when it comes, because you can't, like I said, because you can't be with them 24/7. And if you are a person and your kids go to, they're not homeschooled for 6 hours of the day, they're going to be in someone else's care. These teachers is crazy. They be beating up the kids. They sleeping with the kids. I don't know what's wrong with people, and they need to do a thorough background check, not just if you got a criminal record, because sometimes they be smart and they don't get caught. You need to do a mental evaluation or something, like, because I don't know, they might delete that too, but when you went for certain jobs, I think it should be, you got to take a mental evaluation. I don't know if they do that for teachers, but they should. That should be a thing. because I'm sick of hearing that these teachers doing scientifically beating the kids up, and then they don't give two F's because they be caught on camera doing this stuff sometimes, and it's like what is like I don't understand. Like I can't wrap my head around it. This is America. Still that you tripping now? So that's all well, I actually have, there's this clip that I want to play.
I'm in the Atlanta area. I keep trying to post these TikTok videos, begging for somebody to help me. Muskogee County Family and Children's Services took my children. Muskogee County continues to lie, fabricate a bunch of stuff about me, not show evidence on why they took my children, not show or not admit that they never gave a court order. The moment that they tried to take my children, they took my children without a court order. They've never given me a case plan. I'm tired of this. Sean Scott Charles, Tanika Watley, Micah Thompson, they placed my son on ADHD pills. They vaccinated all 4 of my children against my religious exempt forms. Nobody in Atlanta, Georgia is helping me. Please. I never wanted to post a video on TikTok. They claim that they took the children because a doctor in Columbus, Georgia said I smelled like weed. All 4 of my children and myself is from Atlanta, Georgia. They won't provide evidence on why the children had to be taken away and immediately thrown in foster care. They won't provide evidence on why the children were in imminent danger and had to be immediately removed. I've never been to jail. I've never been in handcuffs. I really need help. I'm in the Atlanta area. I keep trying to post these TikTok videos.
So this is a woman saying that her children, DCF, took her kids for no. She's claiming that it was just cause. She didn't do anything wrong. She said they gave her kids vaccinations against her will. She said she has religious beliefs that prohibits her from getting vaccinations, and they went against that. They've also put one of her children on ADHD medication, which probably had a suicide effect like most prescribed medication does. And that's crazy if she didn't tell you that was okay. But I don't know this woman or if they had a real reason to take her kid or not. But this is like the 3rd person that I heard recently say that they experienced this, that their children were taken out of their care and they didn't do anything wrong. One person actually said she got her kid back because she was giving advice to someone like the same thing that happened to her. And she was like, here's who you need to contact. They did this to me too. And there was this woman that was in the hospital, and it was after she gave birth, they took her kid or whatever, and she was like crying. They were trying to. It was the whole process because she wasn't doing it willingly. But like, I don't know if this is true, but it's becoming a pattern of these people that are saying they've taken my kids and I didn't want them. And I feel like if they didn't want them, then they wouldn't be trying to get them back in most cases. Unless you're just an evil person and you want them back so you can do harm to them, which those people do exist. But I think it's more likely that they actually do want their kids back. There are people that be giving their kids away. So I think in most cases, if like giving them tubuses and people are dropping their kids off or calling DCF and telling them to come pick them up. So if they're not doing that and they crying and they, you know, like, I don't know what transpired and why they took it. She said it was for no reason, but hopefully it was for no reason and then she's able to get them back. But if she did do something, then they need to be put into a better care, depending on what it was that she did, why they're taking them. But again, prayers out to this woman as well, because this is just, I don't know.
I mean, when I hear these stories, like, I do think like all we see is the victim, right? So we see the victim point of view. So the context that we're given is that this person is innocent, didn't do anything wrong, and there's no reason for them to take her kids. And then they took them because they said I smelled like weed.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't have, whatever. I'm saying to myself, did you smell like weed? And
right,
was
the
environment that these
part.
children were in, was it a healthy environment? Like, what did they see to take your kids from? If they're really just like evil people that just taking your kids just for no reason, then they need to lose their job. But sometimes people do be doing stuff, and their kids don't be going to school and all different types of stuff. So they'll try to look into it. Why is your kid not in school?
But the crazy part is there's so many cases that have gotten reported, and there was really things going on, and they didn't do anything, or they didn't do enough, and that kid ended up being unalived. So it's like you're the energy you're putting on them, because it do happen that there's people that get DCF. Of course, sometimes the kids just do it because they be an asshole. They're a spoiled brat, and the kids, they ain't really do nothing. They just not getting their way, and maybe they spank them, but they ain't really abusing them, leaving no bruises or nothing like that. They're taken care of. They go to school. They feed them. They talk to them nice for the most part, unless they deserve to be disciplined or whatever. It might sometimes be a false case or whatever, or they go to the school and say something that sounds crazy to the teacher, but it ain't the real story about what happened. And then, so these cases do happen, and people get DCF called, then they got to do an inspection and all that, and it don't be nothing really happening. But then the people that something really need to happen, really is happening, that you need to take the kid out of their home, those kids are getting unalived. So it's like, where is the balance? Like, y'all, like, I don't know. Like, because there's a bunch of cases of kids. There was this Spanish kid, I forgot. This was years ago. And his mom was shooting him with a BB gun. Like, her and the father, or her boyfriend, I don't know if that was the father, they were abusing him, like, over time, doing different things. But that was he had, like, bruises in his head from where she shot him. And the doctor said you could see how it had healed, and then there were, like, new bruises on top of the old one. Like, but besides that, they were just abusing him physically, like doing a bunch of different stuff. And he would come to school, like, looking crazy. They weren't feeding him properly or whatever. And then the teachers were reporting it, but they can't take him. That's kidnapping, right? So they reported it. They went there. I think they went there at least once or whatever, and they didn't see anything. But it's like, the bruises alone should be enough for you to, if you can't give me a good reason why this is happening, you know what I'm saying? Like, then no, that's a problem. So they never took him out of the home of the parents, and
so they talk
and
about,
he ended up dying.
it's a new thing that people are raving about: gentle parenting.
I mean, I'm saying it is. That's what I'm saying. There be people. I don't know. Gentle parenting is levels. Like, if they do certain stuff, I particularly don't want to spank my kids if I have children. I would hope to not ever have to do that, but it's not going to be crazy if I ever do. But I don't really want. And whoever I have children with, if I do have kids, we're going to agree on that, or that's so we don't even have to deal with, like, oh, you spanking them and I said I don't know. We going to discuss this in the beginning so we can know if we're on the same page, because I don't think it's necessary. I think as soon as they understand, they start talking and saying words and doing stuff. If they do something they're not supposed to, they understand, because they understood that they did that act. So if you tell them no and don't give them positive reinforcement for it, then they'll stop doing it. And maybe you might have to or something, but they don't really feel that, but you just telling them, no, this is not a good thing. And when they do good things, give them praise and tell them, and that changes as they grow, like to match their age and stuff like that or whatever. But I don't think it's necessary. There are some kids that have gotten whoopings and it didn't make a difference. because they still did whatever you whipped them for after that, or it might have been immediately after that, or the next day, or whatever. And there are some kids that have never gotten whippings, and they, you know, they didn't need them. They were fine. So I don't think it's not necessary. But it is now 10:02 on the East Coast. And thank you for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate you. This is the Get Lifted. I don't know if you've seen me pointing at this earlier. Get Lifted 30/20. This is our merch. This is a hat. It's going to be out soon. I know I keep saying it, but please be patient. We're working on getting it uploaded so people are able to purchase, or getting the information uploaded so you can purchase it online. But we have t-shirts and hats right now, but I'm working on other products as well. So stay tuned for that. But also hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm not helpful.
I'm Slime Jim.
And this is Get Lifted. Bye.